The World Health Organization estimates that 39 million people worldwide suffer from blindness. Approximately 80% of these individuals are blinded simply by cataracts, a condition that is treatable and completely reversible. For the past 40 years, SEE International has fought to restore the sight of blind patients living in poor and underdeveloped countries around the world. To date, working with volunteer eye surgeons who donate their time and skills, and with the generous support of donors like you, SEE has helped to provide sight-restoring surgery to over 400,000 blind patients, allowing each of these individuals to return to more independent and happier lives. SEE International supports more than 100 eye surgical missions around the globe annually. Namibia, a small arid nation of over 2 million individuals in Southwest Africa, is the site of several surgical missions each year. For centuries, the majority of Namibians have lived in small, isolated villages where blindness has been accepted as a sad but inescapable part of aging. Dr. Helena Ndume was born in such a village in rural Namibia, and as a child saw every day the heartbreaking impact of blindness within her community. A very bright young student, Helena was sent by the government of Namibia to Germany for medical school, and understanding firsthand the tragic effects of blindness in her country, she chose to become an eye surgeon. As soon as she completed her training, Helena returned with the dream of working to restore the vision of tens of thousands of her people blinded by cataracts. All Helena needed to realize this dream was a little guidance and a lot of technological support. Helena contacted SEE International for assistance in developing a program to combat blindness in her country, and within a few months, help was on its way. Under the direction of SEE International, Dr. Colvard began working with Helena in 1997. He was soon joined by Dr. Barry Wolston and Dr. Peter Larson, who have also worked in Namibia since 2000. Over the past 17 years, a perfect synergy has been created in Namibia. A synergy that has combined Dr. Ndume's drive, dedication, and inexhaustible energy with SEE International's unfaltering commitment and support of surgical eye care for the poor and underserved worldwide. The logistics of carrying out a successful eye surgical mission in an underdeveloped country are complex and multifaceted. Although Namibia is a poor country with very meager resources, the government of Namibia generously provides transportation for our SEE team within the country. Doctors Wolston, Colvard, and Larson are here seen arriving with their supplies on military planes, flying from Windhoek, the capital of Namibia, to a remote area of northern Namibia. The supplies and equipment provided by SEE are unloaded and carried in trucks to the surgery facility. Supplies are then organized and prepared for surgery. Vans provided by the Ministry of Health transport Dr. Ndume, her Namibian colleague Dr. Sven Obholzer, and the SEE team to the local community health center in Oshukuku, where surgery will be performed. Over 300 patients previously screened by Dr. Ndume and found to have severe visual loss due to cataracts arrive in health ministry buses from their home villages in groups of a dozen or more. Many of the patients see so poorly that they must be led by family members. After the long journey, patients are immediately fed and housed in the facility. Once registered, patients are re-examined and then taken to the intake surgical area where they are prepared for the procedures. Here, Dr. Colvard and Dr. Obholzer confer with the staff as they prepare the patients for the morning surgery. Patients are then brought to the pre-op area, where they are given light anesthesia prior to surgery. The high-pitched trilling sound heard in the music played in the pre-op area is a typical sound of celebration made by the Awambo people. In the ORs, there are multiple surgical tables, microscopes, and equipment, which allow the doctors to move efficiently from patient to patient. Although the patient volumes are enormous, the doctors try to personalize each procedure by walking their patients to and from the OR. Here, Dr. Wolston is seen walking with his patient to recovery. Here, Dr. Colvard accompanies one of his patients into surgery. The procedure is performed, and after the operation, they walk back to recovery and say goodbye for the day. To the surprise of everyone, this very happy lady begins to serenade the OR personnel. She sings a hymn to thank all the doctors, nurses, and technicians for their help. Well over 300 eye procedures were performed on this mission. This made for long days of surgery. The surgical log posted on the wall of the OR gives a sense of the magnitude of the effort. The following morning, rounds are performed. Here, Dr. Ndume and Dr. Obholzer do post-op exams in the patient's rooms. Once the eye patches come off, it's time for great joy, prayer, and celebration. Many patients in this region are devoutly religious, and as a group they sing a hymn of praise for Dr. Ndume. Born and raised in this region of Namibia, Helena knows all the church songs well and sings along. Later in the morning, as patients prepare to leave the hospital to return home, the women, who are all smiles, celebrate the joy of the moment in a way that is all their own. Dr. Colvard and his patients say a final joyful farewell. These are special moments that will be remembered and stay in the hearts of the patients and their physicians for many years to come. For every individual in every SEE mission, there is a transfixing moment when the eye patch is removed and vision is suddenly regained. It is a moment of inexpressible wonder and joy that has been experienced by hundreds of thousands of patients who have recovered their sight through the work of SEE International. SEE's network of eye surgeons includes over 650 volunteer physicians working in more than 80 countries worldwide. All SEE physicians pay all of their own expenses and offer their time and skills without monetary compensation. To make this work sustainable, however, SEE relies on its donors. SEE has created a network of in-kind manufacturing donors who provide most of the medical supplies that are used for our outreach clinics. The remainder of the cost, less than $100 per surgery, is covered by the generous donations of individuals like you. If you would like to help us continue this work, please contact SEE International by phone at 805-963-3303 or on the web at seeinternational.org. Your donation today will transform a life forever.